Hi everyone, this is Monica with hashtag goals English. And in today's live English lesson, I'll be teaching you idioms that have nautical origins, meaning they come from sailing, boats, ships, that sort of thing, nautical. So even if you never sail, you will hear these idioms because they have become extremely common to talk about things other than sailing. They're used frequently in everyday life and especially in business English. A lot of these sailing idioms are used in the business setting, but they're also used in normal life. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I help English learners improve their English fluency through teaching pronunciation, idioms and phrases, and conversational skills. So we're going to go right to the idioms now. Our first idiom is a variation of the same idea, but three different verbs, right? So we can learn the ropes, show someone the ropes, so show him, her, or they the ropes, and know the ropes, okay? So learn the ropes, show someone the ropes, know the ropes. So the ropes, right? So literally on a sailboat, you would use ropes, right, to control the sails. But these phrases are used to talk about the way things are done. So for example, here's what I mean. When you start a new job, your boss may say, your boss may tell your coworker to show you the ropes, as in show you how to do your new job or your new position, right? So when you're starting a new job, you need to learn the ropes, right? Someone needs to show you the ropes. And then once you do, you will know the ropes, right? So learning something new, learning a new position, it's especially used in jobs. I honestly can't think of another time that we would use it. It's mostly for learning a new job, right? So show them the ropes. Did you learn the ropes yet? You know what you're doing? All right, and if you have any questions as we go along, either on YouTube or those of you watching on Instagram, hi everyone, feel free to ask me questions and I'll try to answer them at the end. And just so you know, these are just a small few. There are so many idioms that come from sailing, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, next one, all hands on deck, right? So there's a lot of interesting words in this one, right? So you might have heard the phrase before, I need a hand, right? Give me a hand, which means I need help. So hand has a lot of different meanings other than just our body part, right? Hand can be used to mean help, but it can also be used to describe people or workers, right? So for example, a hired hand is a person hired to do a short-term job, right? We might say, how many hands do we have, as far as like how many people do we have to help, right? Now deck. Deck is part of a ship. And I am not a sailing person myself. I haven't spent much time on ships. I actually tried to look up what exactly the deck is, and there's lots of decks to a ship. But you can basically think of it as the floor. And normally a layman, like a non-sailor, a regular person, will think of deck as the top of the ship, or the main deck or upper deck is the part of the ship where you can just walk around and look at the sky, right? So this phrase, all hands on deck, is used to mean we need everybody to come together and work together. Like we need everyone's help, all hands on deck. And it's usually some kind of emergency or something very important or urgent, right? So for example, if you work at a restaurant and your boss just found out there's a big group reservation, they're gonna take the whole restaurant the very next night, right? There's not much time to prepare. They got to make sure maybe they call in workers that weren't scheduled to work. And they might say, okay, everyone, we need all hands on deck, right? Tomorrow's going to be a big night. We have a full restaurant, all hands on deck for this, right? Even for preparing. We use it a lot for preparing, for emergency situations, or for some sort of big job that needs to be done. We need everyone's help, everyone who works for us, right? Cool, cool. Hi, everyone who's just joining. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer them at the end. Okay, in the same boat. This one's pretty simple, right? In the same boat means we're in the same position, right? So it could be in life or in a temporary situation, right? So it could be something general or something temporary and specific. So for example, oh, you're working overnights all week? I'm in the same boat, right? So maybe say that to your coworker. We're working the same schedule, so I'm in the same boat. This means both people are working while everyone else is sleeping, right? Working overnights. So they're in the same boat, right? So it's the same situation. And generally it's used for unfortunate situations. Maybe not always, but I think for the most part, like, oh, I lost my job. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, right? So it's usually the same bad situation. But maybe not all the time. Okay, next one, rock the boat. There's even a song with this title, if you're curious to look up that song. So, rock the boat. Imagine you're in a small boat, not some big ship, right? And someone starts rocking, going back and forth, this motion. What would happen? Oop, made my camera go out of focus. So if they rock the boat, what would happen in real life, right? You might fall in, or you might completely capsize. Capsize meaning the boat goes upside down entirely. So we use this idiom, rock the boat, to mean causing a problem, right? There's this kind of status quo, the way things normally go, and if you rock the boat, you're messing up that status quo. Status quo as in what's normal, what's expected, right? So this is generally used in the negative, where people will say, don't rock the boat, right? My personal opinion on this one, right, just my opinion, is that it's often used to try to keep people quiet when maybe the boat does need to be rocked, usually out of fear. So for example, if you work in an office situation where there is some racism or sexism in your workplace and you want to make a formal complaint, your coworker might get scared for you. They don't want you to get in trouble. They might say, no, just leave it alone. Don't rock the boat, right? Don't cause a problem. Even if it's a situation where maybe something, the status quo, right, what's normal, does need to change to make it better. So again, just my opinion. I'm sure it could be used in cases where that's not the case. Maybe where rocking the boat really is a bad thing, but in my experience, it's often used in that way. Okay. And lastly, but certainly not the only sailing idiom, because there are so many, clear or smooth sailing. So clear sailing or smooth sailing, and then it often also has the words from now on after. So it's all clear sailing from now on. It's all smooth sailing from now on. So clear sailing or smooth sailing both imply that things are calm and peaceful, right? So if the water is smooth, that means there's no waves. Clear means the sky is clear, there's no storm, there's no clouds. So if someone is saying it's smooth sailing from now on, that implies they believe that regardless of what happened in the past, maybe there were storms, troubles, right? Now the worst is over. Is another phrase we use, right? The worst is over, and things will be easier and calmer from now on into the future, right? From now on is just a shortening of that kind of idea. From now into the future, right? So, my business was having some trouble because of some legal issues. I don't know, I'm making this one up. I didn't write this one down. So my business is having troubles because of some legal issues, but we got it taken care of. Everything's good. It's going to be smooth sailing from now on, right? So whatever the problems were, we fixed it, and now everything's going to be okay, right? So I'm going to take a second look and see if there's questions. So I see a question here on YouTube live chat. Says, you're a fantastic teacher. Thank you so much. Have you ever considered hosting a personal lesson? I do offer personal lessons. If you go to my website, goals.english.com, I think there's a tab that says like online lessons or one-on-one lessons, something like that. And you can see my pricing and what I offer with my online lessons. I focus mostly on pronunciation, So we'll go over pronunciation, sounds. I also do conversational skills, fluency exercises, things like that. So yeah, if you're interested in studying with me, I do offer free 15-minute consultations. So just go to my website. Again, that's goals.english.com. You can contact me to find out about a free consultation and to see if my classes are right for you. Let's see. So, someone on Instagram told me to breathe. Yeah, I know. I talk fast, especially when I get a little nervous. All right. So I'll wrap this up if there aren't any other questions. And if you're not on my Instagram, what I do after my YouTube lives is that I allow some free questions. They don't have to be about this video. So if you're not following me on Instagram, that's goals.english is my username on Instagram. And I go live more frequently there with some casual lessons where they're a little more interactive. You can ask questions. You can even join me if the connection is good. So be sure to do that if you haven't joined me there. So just to wrap up this idiom lesson, listen for these idioms as you watch TV or read books or go about your life, right? It's quite common. I'm finding this over and over again with myself and my students that we learn these idioms. And even for me, sometimes I think, this idiom isn't used that much. And then the next day, I will hear the idiom I just thought was not used that much. And I will hear it on TV or amongst friends or something like that. So see if that happens to you. And if it does, come back and leave a comment and let me know, because I would really love to hear about it. I love hearing stories like that. Like, oh yeah, you taught me this idiom and I watched it on an episode of Friends the next day. Like, how cool. If you found this lesson helpful, please be sure to engage with this video, subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out small creators like myself, right? The more you comment and interact, like and share, sharing is great. The more it helps us grow and helps other students like you find these free resources for learning. So likes are great, comments are better, and I'm not sure about YouTube, but on Instagram, shares are the best because it shows that you really, really like the content, or bookmarks. Okay, so I see, can you teach us how to pronounce the word interpreter, especially weak syllable of the word? Okay, so just real quick, interpreter, right? But I can do a more in-depth lesson on that. I'll do one on my Instagram soon. And I'm also on TikTok, same username, goals.english, if you want to follow me there, if you're a TikToker. Okay. All right, well, everyone, thanks for watching. If you still have more questions for me and you want to kind of interact with a little more, I don't want to make this YouTube video too long, so hop on over to my Instagram, goals.english. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope your English practice is all clear skies and smooth sailing.